Oh boy, can I tell you about scripted podcast writing? Absolutely. So flashback to March 2020, beginning of the pandemic. I found myself in the position to be owning and operating a live events company, and we were just about to head into a huge secret show series, ramping up into our live music events. I ran like sold out open mic nights and things like that with incredible musicians, poets, performers in LA. And the company was called Kingdom of Pavement. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, oh, I guess I can't do live events anymore, as did everyone else. And so I turned Kingdom of Pavement into a podcast production company. And we've released 2 scripted podcasts so far. The Last Station, which is about the last radio station on Earth after the apocalypse, and this like lonely radio host broadcasting your favorite hits, and all of the music on that station, on the apocalypse radio station, in between our scripted content, was the musicians and bands that we worked with in Los Angeles for our open mic nights. So that's kind of how I kept that together in the gloomy pandemic depths. And then we also released at the beginning of this year an Oscars murder mystery podcast, set at the 2021 Oscars, where 2 award show hosts decide to solve a murder of the starlet on the night of the Oscars. Great show. Jorge Molina wrote and created it. Fantastic. And I created The Last Station with my partner Kyle. Podcast writing is so much fun. We get to work with actors and musicians all over the world. Welcome to Night Vale was one of my favorite podcasts ever, and literally the funniest, most creative show that I've ever heard in the podcast space. If you have favorite podcasts, I would love to know, so please share them with me. But yeah, I have some articles on my blog about how I approach writing podcasts, but thinking auditorially instead of visually, because I started off in TV as a TV writer, was really hard. One of my favorite twists in The Last Station, and we're airing the end of the season later this year, was an auditory twist that you would have known had it been visual, had you been able to see the characters, but it wasn't visual, so we were able to hide the twist from the audience, which is awesome. So it's you can do a lot of really cool stuff with scripted podcasts, especially musically with musicians, that is just fantastic. So I run a company. There's also a lot of other companies, like Spotify, I think has some competitions for podcast writing. But if you can learn how to edit, do sound editing by yourself, and just bring a few friends together and write a script and make it, there's a lot of endless possibilities with podcasts, and I do think podcasts are the future.